was sitting here thinking, I'm out here driving. But anyway, I was thinking, I was on this radio show. It was a radio talk show, probably 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less. It was called Focus on Business. And so I was on this radio show, and one of the questions they had is, being a small business owner, when you're by yourself, what are you thinking about? So, as I was driving tonight, and I'm by myself, or this evening, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, as I was driving tonight, I'm thinking to myself about that segment. And some of the questions were asked to me. So I thought, that's a good thing to address to people out there that may be watching this, hopefully. And, it's one of them things, I always take it like this. I'm talking from experience that I've had dealing with this. And sorry if my phone's shaking. It's on my dash mount thing. The roads out here aren't the best. So I'm trying to keep it steady, but there's bumps and dips everywhere. So forgive me. Anyway, so I was thinking maybe, some people could benefit a lot from that. And I always think about that going, well, you know what? They can take from it what they will. It's just a suggestion. Doesn't mean it's perfectly right or wrong. It's just what's worked for me in the past. And since I put it into a trial and I've used this whether it's technology or a process of thinking, it's worked pretty decent. But anyway, back to the task at hand, or the question that I answered for that talk show, was, what do you think about when you're a business owner and you're alone and just doing something by yourself? Well, so let's break it down. Here's the things you think about when you're a business owner as far as what I do. One of my biggest things I think about when I'm alone is ways to improve my business structure that I have at this time. For instance, ways I can adapt new sales strategies, or maybe a new product that I can place online that would be beneficial to the people that we cater to, the outdoor industry, for instance. Those are some of the things we think about. We also think about our key players that support us internally, externally, things like that. For instance, I had a class this last week anyway, and we had to travel out of town. So me and another instructor, we went and drove, it's 9 to 10 hour drive down to where we had to do this instruction. So we drive down there, and the whole time I'm discussing survival material with him, things we're going to be teaching and talking about, etc. And he's an intern, so he's also an instructor intern. He helps me. He has times when he gets to teach by himself certain things, and that's how I work my internships in. So that's one thing you think about a lot, though, is your key players like that. And talking about this, I was sitting here thinking, before I thought about these questions about what does a business owner think about. Well, this is what I was thinking about before I thought of that. I was thinking about him, and did I treat him good enough down there? Did I make sure he had enough exposure to that education atmosphere to get his feet wet a little bit each time? I like to do that with people. So I'm thinking about stuff like that. Did I make it so it was impactful to him for what he's going after in the survival industry? And if it was, that's great. But that's some of the things, sorry, getting my camera darn straight perfectly. But that's some of the things that we'll think about as being a business owner. But talking about business, I won't keep it super long, this video. But talking about business, that is one thing that you have to do, is stay proactive when you're a business owner. And, I've ran businesses since like 1996, since I was a very, very young adult. I've started businesses, and some have been very successful and some have been complete failures and flops. But that's it. You learn from your mistakes and you don't give up. You just keep going. They want you to go to school and learn some sort of a skill, educate yourself on something, and then go get a job working for somebody else, making them the money. Now, technically, I believe personally that we need more people out there that can create something for others. So if you're one person and you go and get a job and just work that one job, you're not benefiting more than really yourself besides your family that you're feeding. Now, if I'm one person and I go create a job or create a business structure that creates many different jobs. Now, this one person just created 10, maybe 20, maybe they're a huge company eventually and they create 500,000 employees. They actually created something in this world. Now, when you just get a job and go and do something, you're not really creating anything besides for one person, and that's yourself. You're actually just becoming a work, pay bills, work, pay bills, work, pay bills. You're never trying to progress and start something new. Let go of that grasp of security because you get a paycheck every week. Well, to be an entrepreneur, you got to take risk and you got to take chances and be prepared to take those risks and those chances, whether they turn out or not, and use them as an opportunity to make it better the next go around, or make what you got going that did work out better by adapting to it. And that's the thing, by being a business owner or an entrepreneur, you're creating more than just an income for you and your family. You're providing income for many different people, as well as income for their families so they can feed. So you're contributing in a down effect, But the problem is also they like to make you think of those people that are extremely wealthy. And I'm talking about the guys that started off with nothing. They become extremely wealthy because they did some sort of, creation that they thought about that would be a good business structure. And they went with it. It was successful. They made millions and billions of dollars off of it. And, we act like it's a bad thing. But really, if they do it legitimately, and and I'll tell you, there's a lot of companies out there that did not do it legitimately. We can name a bunch of these big ones. But the ones that do, just because they're wealthy, doesn't mean that they got it easy. They worked their butts off to get to there, sometimes working hours and hours beyond what normal people work, and still not making what normal people make at the beginning. So you got to think about that. They could work 20 hours a day and make as much as you might make in 4 hours, because they're starting from nothing and they're trying to build something where you get handed a check as soon as you walk in the door and start putting hours in. You could put hours in for years before you really start making money. So a lot of these people had to do other types of jobs. I mean, Lord knows I have too. Many a times I've had many different professions as I sought after what I was passionate about. And that passion is finally beginning to pay off. And mind you, the survival part of this, where I'm in with the civilians at my school, that's only really been pushed open like this since 2012. I've been doing it a lot longer than that, but doing it with civilians and public sector like this is a little bit different. And it's only been about 2012, and I've had to do a lot of things in between now and then, or then and now, to compensate for some of the money that needed to be there to pay bills that wasn't coming in from my passion or my business. But it's a great feeling when you get past that point where you realize that, I don't need that extra job security. I will work my butt off to be able to provide that security I need on my own merit. So basically, me going out and busting my ass to make the money needed to pay my bills and still be able to have a savings and live relatively comfortable. That's all we really need in life. But it's just a matter about, being proactive. Don't get lazy. Be prepared to work hard. And don't give up. Anyways, like, subscribe, check out more videos. We really appreciate you guys. And thank you for watching. And hopefully you learned a little something from my knowledge. It's just a little tidbits. Doesn't mean nothing. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Thank you.